Imagine attending a protest and open carrying your firearm to express your rights. Some folks want to do that, right? Specifically, your First and Second Amendment rights, the protest and your carrying. Then imagine being shot because you're expressing those rights. But you did nothing wrong. In fact, the gun you were open carrying, lawfully and legally, wasn't even loaded. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Jared. If you're new here, this is where we defend the Second Amendment and our never-ending attack on our right to keep and bear arms, I should say. But when the gun comes out, even where it's legal, we need clarity. Today I want to walk through a recent case out of Utah that's raising a lot of important questions for anyone who cares about gun rights or open carry. And then what happens when things go sideways. We're talking about the fallout from the No Kings protest in Salt Lake City, a protest that ended in tragedy, confusion, and now a legal reckoning. First, here's the incident we're talking about. On June 14th, 2025, a protest known as the No Kings Rally was held in downtown Salt Lake City. According to police, a 24-year-old man, Arturo Gamboa, openly carried an AR-15 style rifle at the protest. Authorities say that triggered an armed security volunteer, one of the protest's self-described peacekeepers, to open fire. That volunteer apparently fired 3 times. One round hit Gamboa, actually 2 rounds hit Gamboa, and a third struck and killed a bystander who was not armed and was totally innocent in the incident. Tragically, that man, Alu is his last name, Afa Alu, he died. Now, here is the video of the incident. Here you can see Gamboa highlighted jogging to this fenced area. He then goes behind the fence and removes his AR-15 style rifle from his backpack. He's behind this fence for about a minute and a half. You can see here that a volunteer peacekeeper notices him pulling a rifle from his backpack. That peacekeeper then calls and flags down a second volunteer peacekeeper who arrives wearing yellow. As Gamboa walks back toward the street, both volunteers draw their pistols and one fires 3 shots. One hits Gamboa's finger near the area where he was holding his rifle. A second round struck Gamboa in his midsection and exited near his back. And a third round struck and killed that innocent bystander. Now, immediately after the shooting, police arrested Gamboa on suspicion of murder and related charges. He was jailed. And 6 days later, which was June 20th, a judge ordered him released under certain conditions. No firearms possession, so they removed his right to keep and bear arms. He had to live with his father, have daily check-ins with pretrial services, surrendering his passport, etc. So he's not free to travel, and he's not free to defend himself. All because he openly carried, lawfully and legally, his AR-15 and was shot because of it. Now, importantly, according to his attorney, the rifle that Gamboa carried was unloaded. His attorney argued that the detention was improper and that there was no probable cause for holding him that long, and that Gamboa committed absolutely no crimes. Utah is a constitutional carry state and an open carry state. And for months, Gamboa stayed silent. He was shot, he was hospitalized, he was detained, and he was ultimately released. But now he's finally spoken out. At a press conference that happened yesterday, which was December 9th, 2025, Gamboa said, quote, "I did not fire a single shot. I did not have any ammunition in the rifle," end quote. He maintained that he carried the rifle to peacefully exercise his constitutional rights, his First and Second Amendment rights. I often get many comments in my videos where people want to do just that, and you can. Now, he also expressed frustration that, quote, "the blame was placed squarely on my shoulders," end quote. Folks, it is so important that you are prepared for the fallout if you carry a gun for self-defense, open carry or concealed carry. Even if you are 1,000% in the right, you cannot take for granted that the police responding will do the right thing. In fact, in most cases, you can pretty much bet on being arrested simply because there was a shooting or a homicide, which is the killing of another. That is one main reason why you should join Attorneys on Retainer. It's the main reason I join them out of my own pocket. I pay for my membership. They've got your back in every single state and in Washington, D.C. In gun-free zones, whether a weapon was used or not, they cover, knives, fists, OC, tasers. Whether or not you have a concealed carry permit, or if you had one and it's no longer valid, or if you have a gun that's not on your communist guns roster, and so much more. If you're ever targeted by the government, the police, simply for exercising your Second Amendment rights, you'll want AOR in your corner. If you carry a firearm for self-defense, you need a legal team that actually understands your rights. They've got wins across the country, even in New York City. If you can reasonably and in good faith assert that you acted in self-defense of yourself or others, they will cover you. They believe that everyone has the right to defend themselves, period. It's in the Constitution. Learn more at the link down below. For a limited time, save $50 off your individual plan sign-up fee or $25 off your family plan sign-up fee by using my code GNG at the link down below, or you can use this QR code. Plus, if you join now, you can lock in this pricing until 2030. You don't have long. It ends the end of the year. But this is big because they've already added, you have 4 attorneys working for you to defend you and to get you free and keep your rights and on any felony trial that you get, as long as you're a member. It's big, guys, because, that adds costs. Costs are going up January 1st. So join now, lock in your price into 2030. They're ready to fight for you when others won't. AOR, links down below. Use code GNG to save money. Now, Gamboa's attorney displayed photos of his wounds. You can see it here. Bullet entry and exit. And they argue that Gamboa was bent down, running for his life when he was shot. And while video evidence for some of the angles that are out there has circulated, there remains serious questions about whether Gamboa actually brandished the rifle, or threatened anyone, or raised it in a firing position. Which is... If you're going to shoot somebody, you better damn make sure you are 100% in the right. Now, on December 3rd, 2025, just a couple days ago, prosecutors announced that they would not charge Gamboa with any crime because he did nothing wrong. Instead, they filed a second-degree murder charge against the armed volunteer Matthew Scott Alder, the so-called peacekeeper who fired the fatal shots. So, the person who was carrying the gun lawfully, according to Utah's open carry statutes, and who claims the rifle was unloaded, was cleared. Meanwhile, the volunteer security guy who pulled the trigger is now facing real legal consequences. Prosecutors have called the death reckless, citing that third bullet that was fired into the crowd. It's a choice that falls outside the boundaries of justified use of force under any reasonable standard, is what they're saying. Which is why, guys, you should really, really want to be the best you can with any tool you have, which is why I recommend, go to some recognized trainers in schools. This case should matter to everyone watching, especially folks who support the Second Amendment. Here's why. Number 1, open carry does not automatically equal reckless action. Gamboa exercised a legal right under the Constitution and Utah state law to openly carry his rifle. He did not fire. He did not threaten anyone. Yet, he was shot. Then he was arrested. And then he was treated as though he was the shooter. That's a dangerous precedent. Carrying a gun legally being conflated with acting criminally. Number 2, when force is used, even with good intentions, consequences follow. The volunteer peacekeeper thought he was neutralizing a threat, but his decision to fire into a crowd ended with an innocent person dead. And that's a powerful reminder that constitutional rights require responsibility, even under pressure. Number 3, the burden should be on the prosecutors to prove wrongdoing, not on law-abiding citizens to prove innocence before being released. Gamboa spent days in jail before enough evidence was reviewed. He was shackled, thrown in a cage, and treated like a criminal. And that's a chilling message to any gun owner who wants to exercise their rights lawfully. This could easily happen to you if you were to defend yourself, which is why you better get attorneys on retainer. Now, for gun owners, this verdict should offer some reassurance that lawful open carry is still a right, it doesn't just disappear, and that wrongful arrests can be overturned. But don't take that for granted. Know the law. Stay calm. And don't give anyone an excuse to misinterpret legitimate carry. So, what do you think, folks? Does this outcome change how you view open carry in public, especially at protests and rallies? Do you think a citizen peacekeeper is a good or a bad idea? I know I'm coming down firmly here on the side of responsible carry. Yes, I understand. But being trained and being restrained and being serious when it's time to be trained, restrained, and serious is very important. But I will say this. I know some of you will say, I don't think he should be open carrying, or I don't think anyone should open carry. Here's the thing, guys and gals. Our rights do not depend on any of our opinions. I'll say that again. It doesn't matter what you think. Your thoughts don't supersede a right. It doesn't matter what you or I think, or that you or I think that open carrying at a protest is probably not a smart idea. It is a right. And dangerous freedom means so much more than peaceful slavery. If you like content like this that gets into the tough issues around gun rights and with nuance, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that bell so that you won't miss what's coming next. You may have seen that many gun channels on YouTube for the last 72 hours have been hit hard. YouTube, again, quarterly they do this to us for some reason. They are deleting videos from channels that have been fined, videos that have been fined for 10, 12, 15 years. They're giving people strikes for quoting the president. That happened to Paul, Illegally Armed America. And they're just removing us, the whole community, from the algorithm. They're not suggesting our stuff. Like yesterday was a video I put 2 hours in editing in and tons of research, probably an 8-hour project, and YouTube is not pushing it at all. So you probably didn't see yesterday's video. I'll pin it above. Check it out. I put a lot of effort into that video, and because YouTube hates the Second Amendment, nobody gets to see it. So if you could check it out, guys, let everybody know what's going on. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, stay safe, stay informed, stay armed, and stay free. I'll see you on the next one. God bless you. God bless America. Take care.